I am hoping you can see me. Well, you guys can see me, but let me see who's all in here tonight. All right, of course, we're gonna start with my nut. Hi, my nuts, how are you? Oh, it's been a while. It's been a while. Moving over there, Lizzie, how you doing? Oh, Susan, hi, Susan. Oh, you sure you're okay to being alive? You're coming up with some crazy ideas tonight. Uh-oh, what did I miss? You know, it goes down in the chat. It always goes down in the chat. So, oh, yeah, I'm late. I'm late. You can fire me. Oh, Cat's Gallery. Hi, Tia. So good to see you. There's my sister. Hi, Rebecca. How are you today? Hopefully, you're getting past the soreness. I was actually in your live pretty much the whole time. Um, you kept cutting out. Like it would just literally stop, like the live had ended, and I would have to leave and then come back in, and you would still be going. So I don't know if it was me. You know, it's hell here in Vegas. Um, and I live in Vegas now, guys. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about that. I just want, do you guys see this big, giant ass bag right here? That is one of the storage containers. I cannot tell you how much it is. Huge, but it holds a minimum, I would say. I have 20 diamond paintings in all of mine. I have at least 10 bags. A few of them only have like 6 or 7 because you know how some of the boxes are wider, some of the boxes are more. So the bigger, longer ones, like the ones that the triumvirate came in, those I had to carry individually. But getting rid of this I don't know. I don't unbox a lot of mine. They're still in cellophane, and I know everyone has a stash that sometimes, you know, for lack of, you know, anything better to say, they need to resell it. I'm not in a position where I want to resell mine. For me, if I never open them, they are great as part of my art collection. And you know, I do have some, a lot, probably half of my stash I've opened. Those are the ones that, you know, I think would be fun. I couldn't wait to look at, but they're by no means like something that I want to just leave until I absolutely am going to definitely work on it and things. And then I have close to, we all probably do, 100 of the AliExpress ones. So just wanted to show you that bag in comparison to, that's the largest, definitely the largest Squishmallow. I have 4 Squishmallows. This is the one that sleeps with me, and we are now filming from my room. It was very difficult for me to determine where I was going to film from. My new place is so much bigger than my old place, but I still didn't want to. What I was starting to do is I was starting to torpedo all over the place, you know, and since it was in my name, I felt like I could. But, you know, we all wanted to, I wanted to grow as an adult because I felt like I can't take care of grown adults forever. I talked it over with my sisters. I got some great advice. And I'm going to tell you, we've talked about mental health. We've talked about affirmations. We've talked about feeling like you're enough. And what, you know, what I got out of my communications with them was you have to put you first. You have to start looking out for you. It's great when you're able to help, but you shouldn't be someone's go-to. And so that's what I took out of it. And so the communications that I had to have with my family members became more of a, hey, listen, we're all adults. And while I do have the financing to assist us all, it's beginning to be a lot. Like I'm the National Bank of Tia. Come to Princess Tia. She'll help you through whatever you're needing. And it got to be really overwhelming. Like I thought I was having maybe a heart attack or something. I've since come to know that it was definitely maybe an anxiety attack or something, but it was just too much. It's like every time I turn around, I need 1,000 for this. I need 500 for that. I need 125 for that. I'm still trying to buy my crafts and enjoy my crafts. And I'll try something in a minute. You guys all know me, but it took some of the joy out of things that I wanted to do. You guys all know, if you've been following me, even if you've only been following me a few months, you hear me talk about the dream. The dream is to get a truck and an RV and to go get each one of my sisters and travel across the US on up into Canada and just enjoy, sightseeing and things. We have a limit, it's going to take forever to kind of get the trip underway because I don't drive more than 6 hours in a day. So it's going to take us forever to get to places. And yes, Alaska was actually on my list before I had to move. I was going to be going to Alaska in October. And October was when it was told to me that it would probably be the best time to go. Might be a little cool, but it definitely wouldn't be as much like snow and things as maybe going in February, March. So, it's still on my horizon, but this was going to be a fly in, hang out, visit, and then fly back. It wasn't the let's drive to Alaska, but that's been my goal, and along the way, stop and have some awesome memories by a lake fishing, or stop. I do have a dream to get into some sort of bar issue with Rebecca, but I'm hearing that might not be a good idea. When I say bar issue, yeah, we're going to go in there. We're going to try and pick up a man or two. Do you think that a woman will be close behind and want to beat me? Or will it be the man? I have to, fend them off or something. But I definitely feel like, those are some things that were on my bucket list. I know Rebecca talked about Michigan in her live. And yes, I have so many friends in Michigan, from Mindy to Sue to J Rob. You guys all know my buddy Billy, so many family members that are there in Michigan. I don't want to say the trip would start there, but obviously, that would be our first pickup. And so that's been the dream. And I was so close to getting that dream underway. I work remote. I was very close to, putting my down payment down on a vehicle. If you are trying to get something that's valued at between 35 and 50 grand, you're going to need at least 15,000 down just off the bat. And as you guys know, rates are through the roof right now when it comes to financing a vehicle. No, I don't have 35,000 or 50,000 to put down, so I would need to finance, but I was definitely very close. And obviously, the more you put down, the better your finance rate is going to be. So I was so close. We had the wind knocked out of us. We had to move because our unit was up for renovation, and they were not renewing any of the leases in our unit. There were 4 units in the front and then 4 units in the back. I live in a loft, and they just were not going to be renewing. So with that said, I had to go looking, and that was the first real clink in my plan, because I didn't expect to have to move. But I did, and the next clink was, my brother. If you guys watched one of my last real sessions where I was upset and I was hurt, and you guys probably know that I, went on my little rescue mission and things like that to kind of save my brother. And so, once that was underway and out, Then the next thing, I have another family member, and I feel like this was by no means within his control or anything. He is working double time to pull his home out of foreclosure. And while he was working, his significant other, and this is real life stuff, but I mean, I feel like we too old to be going through cheating and hopping in and out of, the delicate, what is it right here? The delicate places that we love to lounge in life. We're too old to do that with so many different, at this point, we're looking for one person. We ain't even trying to really bump no-nos and uglies at this point anymore. We just want somebody to laugh with. If your feet hurt, somebody that don't mind rubbing them, and obviously you got to reciprocate. So there's some choices and some struggles that we're going to have to choose. But at this point, I feel like, by the time we hit 29, we all should, have just kind of developed some sort of sense of morality. And so, with that said, I've gone through it. I've been married twice. And so, I've had to deal with infidelity in relationship and things like that. Again, you choose wiser the next time, or you don't choose at all. And so, I just feel like for these family members to still be going through this at their ripe old age, they're well over 29. It's a lot, it's a lot. And to need to be rescued from those situations, you know, everybody falls short. So I can't fault anyone, but at the end of the day, I still don't need to be the bank of, Tia. And that's what I actually had become. And it was a lot. Everyone has their breaking point for whatever reason it is. It can be finances, it can be dieting, it could, whatever, But for me, I just had this point where someone asked me for something real simple, like, I think it was a rollaway bed or something like that. It was something simple. And I'm like, what you mean? You can't even get it. I mean, they like $200, right? I don't know. I'm just saying. And I was so upset. And it just was like a breaking point for me. So there's been a lot. 2023 is definitely going to be something for me to kind of reflect back on. At the end of the day, I'm smiling. I have my smile back. I really want to hug Honey Bunny. You guys know her as J. Rob, and Rebecca and Crashly. When I'm down and out, when I am in my little corner and I'm trying to sop up the tears and stuff, they come through. They really come through, communicating, sharing with me. Shawana, thank you, because Shawana checked on me. Cheryl Katz has been checking on me and things. And it's a lot. It's just been a lot. And so for me, I'm just, finding my way back. I had to move. It was a move from hell, not because we weren't prepared. I did a fantastic job. Yay! In getting ready for the move. So if anybody out there is going to move and you need to think about moving your crafts, some of the most difficult things about moving craft items are the little tiny things. Like, we all have like little tiny things, the cover minders and things like that. And they usually kind of sit out in a cup, or those little tiny things were so difficult to move. And I'm going to be honest, don't laugh at me. But what I ended up doing is I bought, those gift bags that you put little things down. I bought a ton of gift bags and just little tiny items that were sitting out, and I put them down inside there. I might have put them in a paper cup, sit them down in there. I had this wrap that you can wrap around. It had like a handle on each end, and you can wrap it around drawers and things to secure your drawers from opening. And I did the same thing. I just wrapped them over things like and sat them down inside a gift bag. There was, no rhyme or reason, but I was trying to, just to be cognizant when we moved. The other thing, I lived in this place for 5 years. The prior place that I lived at, I had been there for, I believe, 14 years. And I was going to ride that place till the wheels fell off. I'm not a mover. I don't like to move. I definitely don't. I don't know how I'm gonna do this RV life because I'm gonna be on the road. It's gonna be. But I guess everything just gonna have to have a place, and it's gonna, tape gonna work, and it's gonna put in the slide out and just keep it going. I'm not gonna have to do anything but just move the home because like moving everything, that's a lot. And what I noticed is when I moved out of the place that I was in for 14 years and moved into my last place, there was stuff that we hadn't touched since we moved in. Don't laugh, no judgment. I'm just here to help you out because everybody, may not be in the same circumstance they was in 2019. So hopefully this helping you where expect some unexpected stuff. I'm like, we ain't never touched that. I remember there was one night we were sitting there and we were going through boxes and there was like DVDs and things like that. So I'm a single mom and I raised my kids pretty much all by myself. Once dad met the new woman, he packed up and he left after we moved out here from the East Coast. And dad commenced to hop from one woman to the next after that. So the kids saw him, they knew who he was, but as far as the household and the dynamic and the finances, all mom. Mom, worked up to 3 jobs at one point. So what do I do with all of this stuff? I didn't have cable. I didn't want my kids sitting in front of a TV and being babysat by TV. And when we think about things in hindsight, would I have done anything different? Maybe I probably would have allowed a little bit more TV and things, but they were very sheltered because I'm working. I've always worked remote, so I was always there. My kids hate that. I've tried to work out of the home. I've been sent to work out of the home a couple of times from the job that I have now. So many people were complaining, you guys just going back home. They're trying to give it a go again. They're trying to get more people into the office. Next week, I got to work in the office for 3 days, and they're going to see how that works. And then obviously come October, they'll probably revisit. But at the end of the day, I've always been at home. I do have a few independent contracts because I went to school for court reporting. And so with a court reporting degree, you can close caption. You can also caption offline, meaning you're not live tapping into Signal 21, which is what you guys see that comes across YouTube programs, it comes across the TV. Our court reporting machines connect to a software that allows us to caption whatever program is coming up. And we're in before that 5-second feed. So what you guys see is delayed. What we would see would be real time as it's broadcast out. So I do have some independent contracts that I've always kept because I'm a single mom. And in the event that I lose my main source of income, I need to always have something to fall back on. Kids got to eat, got to fill these shoulders up. So with that said, there were times where I was working full-time job plus my 2 independent contracts. And, I'm doing what I can to get by and things. In the process, I try to save. And the more I save, the better off we are. So I think that, I just have family that saw that and saw that grind, saw that hustle and things. It's still my hustle. It's not for your benefit. It was for me, And so it just took me a while, I guess, to feel comfortable, I guess communicating and saying no and getting the no out there. At the retreat in June, and you guys all know Rebecca's my roommate. So I was really like frustrated and stuff. And she was like, well, when you have time, you'll want to have the conversation. The funny part is right after my conversation with her, and I had one with my other sister, Chera, next thing you know, I get a call. Can I have? And I just was like, what? No, I'm tired. And then I turned into like a dragon. And like fire was coming out. But boy, did that feel good. So, ultimately, it's just been a crazy year. The move would have been so much better had, because like I said, I planned and I packed. We had nights where we were going through DVDs. I didn't have cable when the kids were young, and my father, before he passed away, he wanted them to have television. So he would send every week a pack, just a big pack of DVDs, and the DVDs would have all the programming off of Disney, Nickelodeon, kids movies, whatever was coming out. He would, record them and then send them by DVD. The kids could watch one or two DVDs a day and be all caught up and still be able to communicate with their friends about TV shows and things that were on and happening, even though we didn't have cable. So my kids thought that was cool, that they were still getting everything, all the morsels, and still being able to communicate with the kids that they went to school with. I do think that that was awesome that he did that. But we're going through stuff. I hadn't touched it since we moved out of the last place. And so we do have to arrange some funerals, unfortunately, because we have stuff that I told them we're just going to have a funeral. We're going to have to mourn the loss, and we're going to have to, get rid of it. We can't keep everything forever. We haven't even touched this since before we left the prior place. What do you guys think? When is it time to call something quits? How long do we keep something? I started off talking about how, my stash matters to me and it's important. And, I'm just not in a mental headspace or a mindset to where I would de-stash. And I know that there are de-stash groups, and I shop the de-stash groups to add to my stash. So I don't just wait for new releases. I will buy something that I thought, oh, that was cute, and I will, get it and add as well. So, it is what it is. But other than that, um, I'm sorry, I'm starting to see notices. Other than that, it was packed up. Everything just really needed to be moved. I hired movers, so it's not that I was ill prepared for the move. It just was draining because we moved in the middle of the hurricane. It rained hard. Like the first 2 days it rained, we were literally moving in the rain. The first week, we were going to move all of our small items, all the things like this. We had, comforters, towels, and things like that. We had them in storage containers like this. We had totes. Totes are heavy. I rented a van. We had my car, my son's car. So we did have three vehicles, and we were making trips all day in the rain. The hurricane touched down on Sunday, and we were in the rain. At this point, it was starting to flood, and it was getting bad. It was getting really bad. Where I used to live in Henderson, it is more downhill. And when you get downhill, there are aqueducts that kind of, guide, I guess, the water away from more residential areas. Where I live now is the heart of the city. Oh my God. And there's no drainage, even though there are some aqueducts. That's just for the water that's falling in the aqueduct. It doesn't look like anything is designed to guide the water away from anywhere. And it just continued to, build. The water is so high, it's coming up over like hoods of vehicles. I probably should have prepared because I have photos, and I probably should have prepared to show pictures. But it's bad. It's like it's really bad. Let me see if I have it. It's so bad. And even was it yes? I think it was yesterday. For my lunch yesterday, I said, well, let me kind of get out and move about, see what's going on, check and see where some other things are, and you have to pick and choose. It takes my son forever to get to work because certain roads, the flooding is so high, and he has a smaller vehicle. He has a Toyota Scion. And so because his vehicle is smaller, he can't risk seizing up the engine and things. So he has to figure ways to go to work on roads that aren't flooded. So this path may have been clear the last couple of days, but now water has drained down to it. It's not clear. And when I say it's water, it's flowing. Like you can hear the water. Let me try and see. And it's just a lot, unfortunately. And it's not something that we really had to deal with in the last place. It would rain every once in a while, but this is just, it's a lot. Also in Vegas, which I knew, but I've never lived here. I've always lived in a suburb in Henderson. And so what I didn't realize is that there were going to be so many. Oh, wow. I'm on the wrong phone. The phone that I'm recording on is the phone where all of the pictures are. So maybe I will have to post and share them later, as I don't have a way of sharing them now. But too funny. That got caught in the wrong moment. All right. I'll have to share them, later and things and show you guys. But the water's like flowing. It's high, it's flowing, and it's coming just right down my street. The bus is coming right down my street. I don't know how they're opening the door to let people in because the water is coming up above like tire level on these big giant city buses. So there is a lot. And the unfortunate part is you guys all know, my mom, she stays with me. She moved out here when my stepfather passed. She's gone. She packed up. She is so miserable with the move, with the location. It's Vegas. There is a lot of homelessness. They will just plunk down and just reside, right outside. They don't care how nice a place is or anything. They care about comfort and things. And so she's used to going for walks. You guys know if you've been competing on, like we did a step challenge and things like that, she has nowhere she feels comfortable walking. And she just couldn't do it. So she packed up. She's like, I'm gone. I'm out. And yeah, I was hurt and I'm gonna try and get over it. There's not a lot I can say about it because at the end of the day, I understand. I'm looking at things from a different perspective as well. But do I love my new place? Oh my God, yes. We did walkthroughs and things like that. There's the Las Vegas Grand right next door. And I wanted that place also. Similar floor plan, a little bit more extravagant because they have like a trellis patio where you can come out onto the patio from your bedroom. But I can't afford $3,500 to $5,000 a month for the same floor plan, the same bathroom availability and things like that. But it was gorgeous. Sue, the answer is I don't know. She said, I'll call you, don't call me. And that was pretty much, the first message. She sent a second message. She did indicate how the move, it really took a lot out. She fell, just to put things a little more in perspective, she fell out of, and I told her not to get in to the U-Haul. I'm like, Mom, come on, sit down. You can base camp some stuff. You definitely stay here at the old place. And we had the dining room cleaned out and we were using the dining room as a pickup point. We would take all of the items that we had previously packed, boxes, tote bags, totes, even the storage containers that we had stuff in after we taped them up, and we would sit them in the dining room. And then for the next trip, this is the stuff we're going to take. We hired movers for the actual move. So the furniture, the heavier stuff, all the desks and things like that, my craft area, all of the drawers of clay. Oh my God, guys, clay is a lot. It weighs so much. I can't believe it. So I wanted to carry my own clay, my toys. And after the second drawer full of clay, I think I had pulled a muscle. I had to sit down and I was in pain. And so, we were all going through it, my mom as well. But she's the type of person, she wants to pull her weight. You guys ain't gonna be talking about me. I'm doing my part. I'm not gonna be sitting down on the job. And I was like, Mom, it's okay. We understand. I'll just hire more movers. I picked up the keys like 11 days before the end of the month. I did that purposefully so that we had plenty of time to move, that there's no issue. I had just paid the last month's rent at the last place when we picked up the keys and paid a prorated at the new place. But I did that on purpose so that we could take our time. She was trying, and so much she overdid it. And she hurt her. She was already sore from the first day. The day the movers came, she was trying to get in the U-Haul, the big truck, and there was something on the back of the truck that needed to be closed or shut. It wasn't shutting properly. And she gets out of the truck. She's the smallest. She's like 5'3", 5'4". My mom is like a size 4. So why she's getting out, like, let me go handle this, was, beyond me. But she ended up falling really bad. She hurt her leg, her hand. I think her wrist was fractured. I'm not sure because she wouldn't go to the emergency when I tried to take her. And she walked with a limp. Now, you all know when we hurt ourselves or when we, overdo it, what happens the next day or the day after? We're extremely sore. And sometimes it takes a few days for that soreness to kick in. So it's been since, well, she left Wednesday, which was a week ago. I didn't hear anything until Friday. I got a second text. I think it was Saturday. Knew nothing until, and then I got the third text. I think it was yesterday morning. And that one was, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Basically, don't call me. I'll call you. Something about the new place. It's just going to be too much on me or something like that. I have nowhere to walk. She did indicate that her hip and her leg were bothering her and that she was doing some sort of exercises. So, I just got to respect that. I did feel abandoned. I was upset. I was hurt, but at the end of the day, I can't do nothing but respect the decision. And so that's what I've been trying to do. Obviously, I'm sounding like a grown woman in how I relay it, but what was really going on was, oh my God, I can't believe, Mom, that was really what was going on and things. But I mean, I'm in a better space now because I have my sisters and they really did help, kind of just get me through, have somebody to talk to and share that part with and things. But everything was like, this move this and this move that. And for me, the move was just something exciting. We totally live in the city. When I say we live in the city. I am looking at this new sphere, and I stay 2 blocks from the Flamingo Las Vegas Boulevard intersection, which is the Bellagio. It's the Paris Hotel. On the other side is Caesars. And then there is the Dre. I can't remember what's on the other side of the Dre, but it's like that corner right there, 2 blocks up. That's me. Right across, it's not too far from UNLV. A lot of professors are in this area, some doctors and things like that, because obviously with the university comes, the hospitals and things. Desert Hospital is right down the street where a lot of university med students, where, they do residencies and things like that. So it's the city though, and traffic is 3 lanes backed up, back to back, so close yet so far, right? So going back, I just wanted to make sure I kind of brought you guys into what I was going through and things like that, why this was a difficult move. Even after the hurricane touched down that Sunday, it continued to rain after that. And the hurricane, in my opinion, I lived through Hurricane Gloria in 1985 up in when I stayed in Connecticut back then. And so that was bad. The doors were, yes, sexy doctors. The windows, the windows on the doors, the windows in the home, we did take them up as recommended, but the wind was so strong. That's right there on the East Coast, the Atlantic Ocean, and the winds was just kicking up. Where I stayed at the time, Mystic, Connecticut, is where the seaport is, and that water was just hitting the crest of the land, and our windows got busted out. There was water that was, just raging in and things like that. I didn't feel that in this hurricane, but we were going out into the element. So it was different than when you're sitting home and your windows and the wind and everything is coming in on you. So if you've ever been through a hurricane, that's pretty much how you're going to, grade it. What's the weather outside like? Is it just a real bad rainstorm? This one was real windy. We have palm trees here. The palm trees look like they were going to lean over onto everything. And it was just a lot of water. It rains. I live in the desert. We may get this kind of rain, a couple times during monsoon season, which starts the end of June and usually runs through the middle to third week of July. So this is well outside of monsoon season. And it was just, we just aren't prepared. There's no drainage and sewer systems here like there might be on the East Coast. You're in New York, you see, all the sewer systems and things like that underground. You see manholes and stuff. We don't have a lot of that here in the desert. And so it was just a horrible moving in wet, cold, rainy conditions. What saved the new place is there's no carpet coming into the entry area like in my last place. Obviously, at my last place, we had to pay to get our own carpet cleaning and things like that. And we would attract in so much weather, water and dirt and just so much from the outside. Here, obviously, we're able to kind of sweep all of that up, mop, and then continue on our way. So I do love that aspect of it. The floor plan is gorgeous. I love the floor plan. And so as I continue to work around and get everything set up, I hope to be able to do a video so that I can introduce you guys all to my new home. And yeah, gonna have a lot of fun. It is going to be pretty cool for entertaining. In Florida, we have hurricanes often, but in Vegas, that's right, you were here. And I could not make that happen. Cheryl was here at that point, and I tried, and we couldn't meet up. I didn't realize, I'm thinking it's just me and her schedule that we have to look at, but there were some others involved, and so we just couldn't make it happen. The morning that I was picking up the rental, I was going to be very close, and I ended up dining out and having breakfast right around the corner from where you had to drop the vehicle off. The difference was, I think you had another, obligation and things. And so we tried. We tried. The timing of it was just horrible because it was in the middle of a move, but I definitely tried. Anyone that comes, I'm going to always try and go visit and see them and hang out and things. The same reason why I want to get a truck and an RV and just travel, just to see people, hang out with people, get to know people. That's going to be awesome. So that's where I was at, with the move and things, the packing up. There were so many memories. If you guys have ever had to effect a move, you guys know that the memories, are hard. So there were, obviously, my kids, they grew up in the first home. And so we did let's just take it, throw it in the back, and let's take it with us. We never went through and saw a lot of the stuff. So if you're moving, or, what does that look like if you have items from when your kids were little, especially if you rent or if you're leasing, if you don't own the establishment or the place that you live in, when do you call it quits on certain items? Obviously we brought life with us from Ohio to Henderson. And then we took from our last place where we lived 14 years into the next place where we lived 6. And now we're here. And it was a lot. It was very eye-opening. I'm like, did we bring this from the last? I ain't touched this since we left the last place. And it was crazy to see. We had a lot of stuff. And so obviously we're, like I said, we're going to plan some funerals and things like that. But we just have to, come to a point where we let go of some of these items. We were supposed to be packing, and we got to one box, and it was all these little DVDs and things in there. And the kids was like, oh, I remember this. Oh, let's watch that. Oh, some of the pictures were, photo disc my dad had taken when the kids used to spend the summer with him every summer. I used to have my little summer to myself, guys. That was fun. Oh my gosh. Anyway, there was this little country bar here called Shoney's, and I used to be on that dance floor. They would give a lesson, and the lesson started at 7, and then they would open it up at 9 for anybody who wanted to come and dance. So the best way to be able to dance and know, the moves was to go to the lesson at 7, and then you ready for the crowd at 9. Woo-hoo-hoo. And I that was fun. That was fun. One time, this was horrible. I'm just going to share this with you guys, but don't tell nobody. All right? Don't tell nobody. So one time I decided to go. I had some girls from one of my jobs. Let's meet up. Let's have a good time because, I work virtually. So let's meet up. Let's have a good time. We go. And this one particular night, there's more women than men. That's horrible. When you go somewhere and that happens, just pack up and leave. Just leave. But yes, one of them is. The other one's 22. I was 22 and the 26. Sue. And so I'm like, just, kind of pack up and leave, because there's more women than men. That's hard. So they came up to me and they asked me if I would be one of the men so that the women could learn the part. The problem with that is you learning only the man part. So how you gonna dance with a man if you only doing his part, right? This is the one night where every man in the whole place wanna only dance with me. And all I can do is that I look ridiculous. I mean, I look ridiculous. But that's the story of my life. I used to have fun. That was, like I said, a summer moment. So I have them often. I do. I will go run off and have some fun. Right, Lizzie? Right, Sue? Even in the cornfields of Souter Village, Ohio, I will find me some country men and go and have fun, right? Anyway, so yeah, my kids, they would go to Ohio every summer. School would let out on a Wednesday. My dad would give me the weekend, and then by that following Monday, they better be on a plane. I swear. And then he didn't care, like school starting next week, Dad. He was like, and they ain't gonna miss much, So what if they miss a couple of days the first week? He always tried to keep them at least 3-4 days into the new school year. Yep, Tia will find them. So that would leave me to have my whole summers to myself to get into all kinds of mischief and mayhem. There should be a series, and I'm thinking about trying to come up with that series, but a series that, kind of goes over mischief and mayhem, but from my perspective. Other than that, that's really all that I've been up to. I just wanted to kind of come on. It's been a minute, I don't have like a structure right now because I'm at my diamond painting desk. but I have separate areas now. I created an area that I'll be kind of focusing on for my cross stitch. And it is out in the living room. Nobody hangs out there. Now, everybody wanted to hang in the living room at the last place, right? Nobody goes in there. Now it's like the untouchable room. And because it's the untouchable room, the funny part is now I could have moved everything out there, but I didn't want my stuff to start bleeding over into the community area like I did at the last place. I had everything in there. My craft desk, I had my diamond paintings. If you guys know of great ways to store, I have 10 of these with at least 20 diamond paint. I do have some individually wrapped also that would not fit in these. And then I put my portfolio. My portfolio is under my bed. This is my bed. So I put my portfolio under my bed. That's great. The portfolio is great. It's out of the way and things like that. I could, in essence, open all of these and put them in there. But the little bit of diamond paint, I think I got 150 diamond paintings in that portfolio. That thing is so heavy. It's the big one though. Like it came up over my shoulder and it's wide. I think it's 4 by 6. So 4 feet tall, maybe a little bit taller than that. It might be 5 or 6 feet wide. It's the big one. It's the $80 Newport portfolio with the big wide leather strap. I used to joke that if something happened, it's gonna be my mom's job, throw her over the balcony first so she can be down there to catch this bag. But I don't know if anybody would have been able to catch the bag of diamond paintings and stuff. So it's heavy, so a joke at the end of things. Hey, Shawana, I just was mentioning you earlier. If you didn't get it, I was saying thank you for checking on me. Thank you for looking out. It has been a crazy move, with emotions running high, with the hurricane and the flooding. Oh, the flooding is crazy here. But I feel like it was definitely worthwhile because, like, how you get somewhere and you just feel like you're zen. It's great. There's a lot of zen. Oh, and so, so basically, that's where I was at with the move. My next project, I will be going to the retreat, the Lone Star retreat. So obviously, I'm going to be doing some pack with me's and what kind of crafts do you guys think I should take? I did a different project for this one and hopefully, it's well received. I love hand. That's right. I am one person that loves like handcrafted items and things like that. And I understand that each handcrafted item, because it's unique, no one could possibly be the same, especially when it's made with clay. I just enjoy that. I did come up with a concept that I tried to tie to the theme of the retreat. And anyone that's going, I just hope that you guys really, like it, the design, the creativity behind it. It is something that took a lot of creativity, but what it comes out to be, it's real small, real simple, real sweet. But I do hope that anyone that gets one, they will appreciate it and they like it. You'll hear the buzz. I'm sure you'll hear the buzz, but at the end of the day, when I would have a rough day with this move, when it was raining and the water was getting to me, when I'm worried about how we gonna get, groceries and stuff, I would sit down and work on the project and stuff. And so it was really, helping me to kind of just clear out just some anxiety and things. I will say this about the city, in Henderson, everything could be delivered. And I think I teased Crashly. I love you, Crashly. Please, don't hold anything I said against me. She was hungry one day. And she was hungry one day. And I said, why don't you just order in whatever? And she was like, we can't. Like where she stayed at, they didn't have like delivery and things. And I was like, what? They have delivery everywhere. What are you talking about? I live in the city. and they will come to a certain extent, but I don't have the delivery capability here that I had at the previous place. For example, we had our groceries delivered and they would bring it right up to, your door. Yes, I had to go down the stairs to get them, but listen to how lazy I am. I was like, oh, I don't have no stairs. I'm just going to open my door and my groceries will be there. And so I tried to order groceries. And I got the message, you're not in the delivery area. I'm like, what are you talking about? The grocery store is around the corner. But no, not in it. Nobody. We got to go get everything. Now, some of the places that will deliver, like food places, they won't come in. So we have a high gate. We have a high gate for a reason because we live in a city. We got to protect the valuables. And once you get outside the gate, you might be running into the element, but nobody will come in and through the gate. So you got to meet people up outside the gate to get, and it's just not worth it. Not what I gave up climbing stairs to pick something up to walk all the way up outside the gate. So it's not worth it. We've been cooking. Isn't that novel? Yep, I've been cooking. So you guys may see some of this weight loss. I did break down and I had a gallon. Yes, I said a gallon of milk. I had a gallon of milk and it was good. And I don't feel bad. Not much. Not much. You guys know I gave up milk last year, August. And as a result of giving up milk, I naturally lost weight. And then after noticing and losing weight, went on a mission to kind of lose a little bit more. I can definitely see, differences and things like that, especially getting on an airplane. You can definitely tell when you couldn't fit behind the seatbelt and now all of a sudden you can. It's noticeable. So I could definitely tell and things like that. Older clothes that I had just been keeping for no reason. Well, now there was a reason because I'm starting to be able to fit some of my older clothes and things like that. Things that I wore, as I was gaining and things. So, there's that. And did I derail myself? Maybe, maybe, but it's been rough. Everybody has their vice. Some people turn to beer. Some people turn to drugs. I turned to milk. And I got my milk on. I drank the whole gallon. I believe in one day. Might not have even been a day. It was good. It was ice cold, just the way I like it. Yummy, yummy. So I will hope to have it out of my system because I ended up buying another gallon. I'm serious. I did. I haven't touched the second gallon. It's sitting there and it's calling my name. Heyyy, come and drink me. But I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be good. Other than that, now that like almost everything has a place for it, one of the biggest things that I have is my camping equipment. Besides my crafts, is my camping equipment. Oh, I did not realize how much camping equipment I had at all. At all. And so I don't want to pare down because that's the stuff that's supposed to go in the truck. Like we have everything. I could live off the grid forever. I have my camping toilet. I got a pristine off, the chain, top of the line camping toilet. I got it did I get it at Cabela's? Either Cabela's or Dick's. Those are my two favorite sporting goods stores. But it's nice, And then on top of that, I have a tent room for the toilet. And then I have a sink in there. And don't judge me. But our sink runs into, the toilet. so that it keeps it, fresh. Finally get to catch you live. It's 5 a.m. where I'm at. I moved to Germany 5 months ago from the USA. My DAC paintings still arrive fast. Do they? Oh my. Are you able to get them by the end of that? Like if you order on Saturday, will they be there by the following Saturday? Because that's fast if they come by that following Saturday. I mean, I remember when they left Vegas and they moved their warehouse to New Jersey. I was so mad. I would order on Saturday and get mine by Monday. But then they moved on the opposite side. And now I feel like I'm with the rest of the world. I tried to get them by Saturday of the next week. um, 5 or 6 days. Yeah, that's super fast. That's super fast. Wow. Well, kudos then. If Diamond Art Club is able to make that move, that's amazing. If they're able to do that for our international, compadres and subscribers, you guys can feel like you're getting them at the same time we are. I like that. I like that a lot. I wonder how many other companies are able to do it in that time. That would be something good to kind of revisit. I like that though. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. That's what I plan on the next couple of weeks. Like I said, I'm getting ready. I plan to have a lot of fun. I am going to the retreat one day early. Once I get down there, my roommate is Rochelle. So once we get down to the retreat, hopefully we're just gonna have a whole bunch of fun. The last time, oh my God, the party started the day before. That was like, it. And we had so much fun laughing. I remember laughing until I couldn't breathe. The same thing happened when we were at the Michigan retreat in June. I don't know why we call it the Great Lakes retreat. That's the official name, in June. And we got there a day early, and the the fun started then. The minute you arrived, we had so much fun. So I'm hoping, that continues. Yeah, coming into the fall, some of the things, obviously Mindy does her chuck along. I have not worked on a Chuck Pinson in at least a year and a half, 2 years. My diamond painting has been so slow this year. I still have not finished my Wonder Woman. Obviously, I want to finish that. I never finished mine. I never fully finished. I'm almost done with my Lizzie. My Lizzie Falcon. Somebody said, "You've been working on that for 2 years." Well, it's going to be 3 because I still have a little bit left at the top to finish. But again, it's just, making sure I find time, that I'm doing it. One of the things I didn't like to do was to, sit in a room by myself, or take my focus away from something that I was doing, maybe with my mom. She likes to watch movie. And, if I'm diamond painting, then I'm not watching a movie with her and stuff. So that was some of the things I was doing, kind of splitting and dividing my focus and things to hopefully try the big diamond painting drill along. I may have to look into that, At the end of the day, I think to get my mojo back on track and stuff is to just pick a day. Pick a day where I'm doing this craft, pick a day where I'm doing that craft. And get back into something that just brings me some zen. Zen, 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 zen. I bet you didn't know I was gonna turn that into a song. Rhonda! How you doing, Rhonda? So next up, after I get all excited about the retreat and things like that, coming back is always hard. It's always hard because, I just miss you guys. I love the community and things like that because, we're all here for each other. We all are in some of the same, issues and circumstances. How many people came into this because they were alone, they were by themselves, sitting around, and they found a craft. They started, with that craft, and then they went looking for a community of other people that was doing the craft. And then when they found that, now they have people that they can communicate with that are like-minded, that are doing the same thing. So it's like, kind of back in that, boat. and wanting to, just rev it up. um, as far as trying new crafts and things like that, that's not outside the realm of possibility. I got a ton of yarn, and I used to crochet a lot. And if you guys know, if you've watched my show, I was working on a blanket for my dad. It was a gift for that Christmas. He died on Christmas, and I never got to give him that gift. When I sat my crochet needle down because I didn't finish the project, I have not picked it back up. I tried at one of the retreats to take a crochet class, and everybody got up. Everybody was like, "What is this?" It was like newbies and things like that. If you guys have a chance to watch Care Bear, the principal diamond paint, her reaction when she tries stuff, she'll try it, but her reaction when it's not going well or when she doesn't like it is hilarious. And she was one of the ones sitting by me in the crochet class. And as she's crocheting, it was getting the project was getting tighter and tighter. And she said, oh no, this is not for me. And she just gets up. I'm like, where are you going? So everyone, is starting to kind of leave one by one. And I was sitting there trying to, really pull it out. She did an unboxing of the first tiny house project she received. You guys will have to look that up. But her reaction, I felt like, how somebody is trying to watch what they say around kids. I felt like she was about to say, what in the, and it came out, oh, there wasn't, oh, no, she was definitely tiptoeing and stepping around her words. But you guys will have to watch that. That's one of my favorite videos. Besides when she got up on that desk and was rocking it out with the air guitar. But yeah, so some of the things I'm thinking about, maybe trying to return officially to a crochet project. I do cross stitch a little bit more in the winter months. I don't know why, because that's the best time to play with clay. My clay is not soft like it is, I was living in Henderson. Henderson is further south, it's closer to the Arizona state line. And because it's further south, it's usually about 5 to 7 degrees warmer than Vegas. As you go through Vegas and you're heading, up the mountain or closer to Mount Charleston and stuff, it does get a lot cooler and things like that. And then some of those areas at the bottom of Mount Charleston, they may get a little sprinkling or dusting of snow. It does snow up on Mount Charleston because of its elevation. And so we'll see, obviously I'm closer to all of that. So we'll see. I hope it's not too much of a transition, but that's what life is all about. Being able to just, embrace your changes and, overcome them and things. I'm still smiling. So hopefully that's a good sign. And the next thing I want to be able to do, on top of continuing to smile, is just come up with a new project and things like that. I haven't worn makeup in a while. I'm trying to get back into my little fairy butterfly princess look. That's going to be fun. And so from there, we will see. We shall see. We shall see. You know what I wanted to do? I hate sharing this because when somebody steals my idea, then I'm going to be sad. I'm going to be real sad. And a lot of times, these days, when someone steals something, it's not, it's stolen. It's, I had that idea. I talked about that. So maybe I shouldn't share. Then I don't have to worry about, if the idea comes out, I didn't share, so I can't be mad, right? Right. There we go. Maybe coloring. I did do Shalene's coloring class a couple years ago, and I have all of my coloring supplies. When I tell you, you need to cut somebody out and, you just want to be, cool adult about it, get out some markers, get out some coloring. Thank you, Kat. So I won't. get out some, coloring pencils and things like that, because that is so zenful. It brings you so much peace. And all just coloring and things like that. Just try and stay inside the lines. There's a certain age that we all reach where we need to be inside the lines. Okay. I think I should say that, because I've seen some projects when the coloring is not inside the lines, I wonder about the person. I worry, like, oh, did they have a psychotic break? What's going on? Hmm? So that's why I'm saying that, make sure that we stay inside the lines. I certainly hope if I share something that my work is inside the line, because I know everyone's going to be looking now like, check Tia's project. She was talking all that mess. Is she inside? Oh, she's not inside the line. She must have been losing it that day. Look at her. You don't want your strokes to look too angry and too aggressive either. Then, that's another issue. I sound like one of them doctors on the soaps and stuff. Crochet is a big step. Good for you. Yes, it is a big step. It definitely is. I don't know if this is the right time of the year. I definitely shouldn't be doing anything that kind of, associates, with the project that I was working on for my dad, but it is going to be a big step. Shout out to Marissa, because she did not leave the table that day. And it was difficult. I was working on just something like a washcloth or something, just something to introduce me back into it. It had been a while and things like that. And I was thinking about my dad. My dad loved like blankets and vests, crocheted stuff. He had every blanket I ever made him. The living room looked so gaudy. Like, at least have a theme, Pops. He didn't have a theme. He was just like, my daughter made that. Don't be making me out to be the excuse. Pull that out for a season, and put it away and pull out another one. But, you look crazy. And he had everything. You know how people used to make them granny square blankets and they would just have any scrap piece of yarn that they could find? That's what his whole living room looked like. And he would blame me. My daughter made that. My daughter. That sounded like an excuse, Poppy, for how, if you don't clean this up. So that's why this blanket meant a lot, because it was theme based. It was a color theme that he could build around. So it wasn't just, little kid project that I had started with and finished up with something else. Oh, I got this spare yarn, let me go ahead and make him a couple pillows. I had fun with my crafts over the years, I must say. I did. What's everybody working on? Hopefully, you guys are diamond painting. It's a great time to get back into it. Labor Day is over. Everyone's back to school and work. Vacations have slowed up. That's pride. A proud pop. Exactly. And so what I'm noticing, you guys know I'm an insurance adjuster, is the claims is starting to pick back up. You little soccer moms, stop that. Take your time and leave enough room and distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. I don't want to hear no, he stopped for no reason. He stopped and you were supposed to stop. What if it was a kid there? So make sure we're keeping all of that in mind. Fathers trying to get to work, speeding on the highway. There's no such thing as out of nowhere. Okay, I don't like to hear that. It's not out of nowhere. If you were watching and paying attention, then you would have been able to see. That's called proper lookout. So not out of nowhere. I don't know where they came from. They were there. You didn't see them. So just those little tips. Diamond painting here, working springtime cottage. Ooh, that sounds lovely. Now, with us heading it's September, so we all know this is the fall time of the year. Are you guys hitting up Hallmark, or do you actually wait until the end? Did you guys like it a few years ago when they started bringing the Hallmark movies on in October, like that third week of October, instead of waiting until November? Are you guys that, anxious for, what is it, countdown to Christmas? I was hit out of nowhere. Well, you were hit out of nowhere from the rear and pushed into the vehicle ahead of you. Poor thing. That is out of nowhere. But I mean, when you're making a left turn and then you hit into the driver's side door of the vehicle coming across from you. I'm working on Chuck Colors of Life. Ooh, Chuck Pinson. I have I had 36 Chuck Pinsons. I've completed, I think, five or six. I know I still have over 30 though. Still left to do. I'm probably buying them more than I am completing them. But yeah, just giving those little tips because that's what I do and things like that. Um, and then I just love I just tapped, lightly kissed. You know, when you say things like tap, bumped, you know, we say hit, we say struck. I get it. That sounds big, but using smaller words to describe the accident doesn't change the accident, just so you're aware. And if you have a fingernail sized scratch, don't say there was no damage. Scratches cost more because they can oxidize and turn into rust. So I think if you do this amount of damage, you should be worried because bumpers and dents are not as expensive as scratches. There we go. A little of me that I've shared with you. I've had a lot of fun. Thank you guys for coming, hanging out with me, letting me just get a lot off of my chest, kind of sharing with you what's going on and where I've been and why. And hopefully you guys will welcome me back, and embrace spending time and hanging out with me. I miss laughing. I miss, giggling. I can do that really well. And just kind of looking forward now that everything is done. Everything is almost in its position. It's in its position. No worries there. But what I haven't done is created like that working, I get off from work. Today is such and such. This is what I'm doing. I get off from work. Today is, Thursday. This is what I'm doing. And things like that. So I haven't done that yet, but I am, moving in that direction. And I'm excited. I'm excited. So excited that don't judge. Don't judge. I've bought myself a couple of housewarming gift items. What do you guys think I got? Thank you, Tammy. How you been? Shawana says, so happy for all the updates with you, Tia. Thank you. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm back and I'm, smiling and I'm, just having a good time. I know Sue asked earlier if my kids live with me. Yes, they do. They're adults. They're on the lease. That was one of the biggest things. I either am going to go and find my own and take care of me, or we all going to go somewhere and we're going to be equal adults. And your income going to be yours. My income going to be mine. And, I'm going to get you guys through life, but these going to be adult lessons and not so much, did you get the Maui fires? Did I get them? Like, we didn't get any of the Maui, like, I don't know, we might be getting some of the air quality, but I don't think that, are you talking about for the, because we have offices in Honolulu, Hawaii, which is very close. And obviously, I'm an adjuster with the 620 and 720 license. And what that means in adjusting is you can handle catastrophes and you can be sent out. I'm just trying not to get a notice every day that sends me out to one of these lost locations. So y'all keep me in y'all prayers. When you ask if we got any of the Maui fires, we do have offices in Hawaii where obviously they're handling, but they are sending crews out to adjust and things for property. You're saying that it is my territory. My territory is Hawaii. I also have Puerto Rico, um, Texas. Um, I think I start from Texas and go like over towards the west, but Hawaii and Puerto Rico are both my territories. Guam, I don't get a lot of Guam anymore. I think we opened an office there, but Guam is also in my territory as well. So um, what they are doing is utilizing the staff that we have there, and then they are doing a volunteer basis first on sending people out to adjust like property and vehicle damage as a result of the fires. Obviously there's been some storms and things like that. They're just tropical in nature at this point, but it does create, a lot of accidents. Hydroplaning, I'm starting to get a lot of hydroplaning accidents and things. Slow down. If it's wet out, slow down. I'm just gonna help you with that little tip. But yeah, I'm starting to see a lot of those. But that designation on my licenses, those additional, I did them to make myself valuable. But I didn't till this year didn't expect to ever maybe get the call. Hey girl, guess what we sending you? So I do believe that might be some of why we have to go into we don't even have an office here in Vegas. They are renting an office so that anybody that lives within a certain, I think they said an hour. So, uh, oh yeah, well, here's the thing. My kids were sheltered, extremely sheltered. While I think they're spoiled in comparison to other kids. They're not. They're just they're very mature for their age. Very mature for their age. But also they're sheltered, they're shy and things like that. Any other time now it would be awesome. Exactly. They don't send me out there when it's sunny, and it's gonna be a concert there. No, they want to send me out there, to help, clean up. So my daughter, she's grown. She's 22. My son's 26. And with them, I was always with them. I was always, with them. I curbed everything. We're not gonna have any, friends with poor behavior. So what I thought I was doing was, helping them, just have more productive fun. Instead, what I was doing was probably not giving them the tools necessary to maybe weed out, the elements and things like that. My son, he be having just the worst dating catastrophes. The girls that he picked, oh Lord. My daughter, she is, for lack of a better way of describing it, she is extremely judgmental. And I think because of that, it's preventing her from developing solid friendships and things. So there is some work to be done there because I want them to become better, at communicating, more productive and things like that. They have, jobs and they're doing wonderful when it comes to being able to help contribute. That's really not an issue. The biggest issue is just making sure that they can interact with peers in today's society. That's really the biggest issue and things like that. I'll give you an example. My daughter, she worked in a dorm. She's an RA, and she also is a leasing consultant. She helps out, at the desk with all of the people that are moving in and things. One of the residents, he he had an interaction with her he really enjoyed, and so he wanted to talk to her, maybe ask her out. The only other thing he knew besides that she worked at that desk was that she was an RA, and he utilized the RA line to try and find her and things. When he did, he told her how impressed he was with her and how he just had to get an opportunity to talk to her again. She called in cavalry on him, y'all. I mean, the cavalry. She had the university police. She had the director over the dorms, all kind of stuff coming in to communicate with the young fella because he had an interest in her. When all I feel like the regular way to communicate in that circumstance would have been, oh, I'm flattered, but I'm not interested, or I'm flattered, but I'm not permitted to consort with the residents, and something, come up with something. But this wasn't it. And I told her, dang, I still got a ton of work to do with y'all. Son, the older y'all get, the more work I still got to do. So, I feel like that's what I mean when I say just a better communicator and things like that. She is very black and white. If there's something in a rule book that says this, she is by that rule book. And she doesn't leave latitude or room for interpretation or for communication and things like that. So those are the things that I'm trying to work on with her and stuff. She had a couple other incidents that were pretty similar in nature where, hey, have a communication first, and so she was living in the dorm. She's back home. My son, he moved out and he moved back in right before we moved into our last place. So he's been back for about 5 years. But yeah, I don't mind. Have some help paying this rent because they're going to end up back home anyway. Lots of fun, lots of fun. It really is. Some of the things that, we do is we've been trying to have like family day and family night and stuff like that. You guys know I will dress up for a movie in a minute. And so my daughter, she started getting into doing that with me. My mom was doing that as well. Haven't quite gotten my son into it yet, but we'll see. I was trying to get him to go see Barbie. I had a whole pink outfit for him. He said, Mom, not gonna be able to do it. I respect that, it's all we can do. But that's pretty much all that I had. Just wanted to kind of share with you guys, give you guys something to listen to while you are plucking. Pluck, pluck, pluck. And hopefully you guys will be coming back next week. Obviously I'll be back the week. I may not be here next week though. Next week, I do apologize. I know that I'm going to be out. That's when they're renting the office at work. And it's going to be on the other side. It's up in Summerlin, which is close to Mount Charleston. And that's probably going to be about a 35, 40-minute drive. So I don't know, when I come in from working out of the home, fix dinner and things, if I'm going, be able to go live. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. You want to see Barbie? I'm telling you, it was good. It was good. I really loved it. I'm going to give a spoiler. The men rocked. The kids rocked it out the park. They had me cracking up. That doggone Ryan, what's his name? What was the boy's name? The lead, the main kin. It's going to take me a minute. It's going to come halfway after I get off. But he was hilarious. He rocked his part out. Not that Barbie wasn't, but it just added that extra element that just made it enjoyable. So I really liked the men's part so much. And when they went to the real world, so they come back from the real world. You can't let no kin loose in no real world and then send them back to Barbie land. Boy, I tell you, the kin, he lost his mind. Had me wanting to hit him. All right, well, my son won't go with me. What? Now, the movie theater that we went to, there was so many men and they had on their pink outfit. They was there with their girls. I was like, you can tell they want to dress you. They would laugh and stuff. I had on my little pink Barbie dress. You couldn't tell me anything. I thought it was so cute. I got a new Barbie dress. It was like off the shoulder. And it was an actual dress though. Like you could wear it out for a nice date night or dinner. It was a dress. It wasn't like a cutesy, like my mermaid dress when we went to see Little Mermaid. That was a little cutesy knit dress and things. I had my Crocs, got my Crocs, I got my Barbie, Crocs that I decorated. And then I have my mermaid Crocs that I decorated. And I got to wear those outfits and stuff. But the movie theater we went to was so much fun. All of the women were hollering, "Hey Barbie," talking to each other. "I love your hair, Barbie." I had my butterfly glasses on. I can't find them. I lost them in the move. And they were like, after I got my lenses and everything hooked up, they probably cost me 70, $80. So I gotta find them. But it was fun. It literally was so much fun. We had a great time and things like that. After the movies, we always go, to the mall. People can definitely tell when we're walking around the mall where we came from. So we get a ton of people saying, "How was it? How'd you like it? I know where you're coming from," so that was fun. And then we always go out to eat and grab a bite to eat after that. So I'm starting to really enjoy, at least having that to look forward to when it comes to like a family day and things. We used to go all out for the Marvel movies, and there's nothing wrong with going all out for some of the girlier movies. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Other than that, I was told not to take my 11-year-old granddaughter to see it. You were? Um, I don't know. I have nothing. It was good. It was good. But my kids are grown, you know. Are you all still here? Can I join late? Hi, Tia. Hi, April. We are all still here. Just hanging out, hanging out. And just was sharing about, why I've been off YouTube for a couple of weeks and my horrible move in the hurricane. Yep. I was hustling in the hurricane. I'm gonna coin that right here. Hustling in the hurricane. Um, trying to get stuff done. We had movers for 2 days, but I mean, I would have hired them for even longer. They were effective. The problem is we still had, even though they were there to grab whatever we had put into this area, and they were there to move all of the larger items. So they moved, big ticket items, beds, desks, bookcases and things like they moved all those bigger ticket items. If I can make a suggestion to anybody, have all of your stuff packed and just let them move it. What I found out, and this wasn't fair. This wasn't fair, you all. So when I was going to order movers for the second day, I did it because we didn't get everything done the first day. And when I went on to order the movers for the second day, they gave me options that were never presented to me for the first day. And I had set that up early in advance. I have, and that is probably going to be the movie of the year. Cheryl, that was the movie that we wanted to see. We were planning on going to see Oppenheimer when we got the was it a, I think it was like a ad or trailer or something for Barbie. And I was like, hey, I didn't know they was going to have a Barbie movie. I guess I'll go and see that too. And they come out the same, or one weekend apart, or the same weekend or something. But oh, that was a good movie. It's going to be a movie of the year, I think. They're going to compete, but I think dramatically Oppenheimer would win. It just all depends on how many people went to see and got, a laugh out of Barbie and things like that. But obviously, anytime you're relating history and things like that, people connect to it because they remember learning about this incident when they were in school and things. So definitely going to be interesting to see how the Oscars pan out this year. But yeah, my money is on Oppenheimer. I don't have a lot of money, but my little $2, maybe 2 cents, I'm trying to save some money for these diamond paintings, will be on. Oh, you saw it in Vegas at the IMAX double feature. That's probably a nice night. Probably a nice night. Oh man, my hair is looking bad. So I have not been, obviously you could see a lot of brown I'm thinking that that's, the rainwater mixed in and it's just, streaking my hair and things like that. Well, I know that I said this a couple of times, but my stomach is growling. I have to go because I'm gonna eat. Again, I still have a gallon of milk that I have not touched. You guys can, comment and tell me if you think I'll touch it tonight, because it's gonna get touched. Nothing goes to waste. Um, my mom refused to buy me a Barbie doll, so my cousin got me a skipper. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. My dad would have let me have whatever I wanted. I definitely was spoiled by him. My mom, I know that I'm spoiled by her. And I think it was mostly a lot of times because my dad raised me. And and so there was maybe a little competing, to I don't know what to say about it, but there was, I think, some competing because I didn't, I was a girl raised by a man. And so there's guilt there. And that was great. And then my dad, I didn't know what he was doing. I don't know if I'm doing this right. So he would spoil me also. And so I played with Barbies for a long time. I played with Barbies. I remember I was getting teased for playing with Barbies. This is a true story. I was talking about, there was this one friend I had. Her name is Sandy Henson. If I ever come across you or if you come across me, I had such a great time being friends with you. We were friends fifth grade, sixth grade. Going into seventh grade, life got difficult. Like girls were dating, they had boyfriends and things. And so you got to make a choice. And Sandy got left behind. She wasn't the choice. Sorry, Sandy. Love you. But me and Sandy's mom was extremely strict. She couldn't even talk about boys. She couldn't have that discussion at all. So we would be talking about our Barbies and Ken and dates and the plots that we're going, and Tia could come up with some plots. I could come up with some plots. Don't ever send me out to play with your granddaughters, nieces, children, when it comes to Barbie, because we will have a plot. I've had keep her off the pole. We not going to the strip club tonight. Plots. And my brother would not let me, he wouldn't let me play with his daughters anymore because he walked in on a plot. If you don't get your ass up out of this nightclub, this ain't where you're supposed to be. I'm trying to teach a lesson. It was supposed to be real life lessons. And yes, Barbie was the vessel, unfortunately. We got to facilitate these lessons the best way we can. And sometimes we got to meet the people where they stand. And that's where his daughters were. That's where I felt we was trying to save them from. So that was the lesson. He was like, give me them dolls. You ain't playing with my kids no more. Fine. I ain't want to play with your kids anyway, but this is free. I'm doing this for free. So bless you, Tia. You really had an adventure that you're going to talk about for. Right, Clara, how are you? How you been? So when it comes to, the Barbies and things like that, I can write the plot and I can make sure the babies have some fun. Now you may not agree with the direction. Oh my gosh, is that Rip? Rip, how are you? Oh my goodness. I haven't seen you. Girl, I haven't seen you in over a year. What have you been up to? How's your husband? Rip. Oh my. I'm getting everybody coming in tonight. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So my parents, I relished. I was spoiled. I enjoyed, being spoiled and things like that. And I had my Barbies. I think I was 13. I want to say I was 13 years old. And a girl, her name was Brandy. I'm not gonna say her last name, but her name was Brandy. And I said something like, I think I'm going to start designing my Barbie's clothes. I'm kind of getting tired of what's available in the stores or something like that. And she was like, Barbies? You still playing with Barbies? Bitch, you should be playing with boys. And I was like, oh, and I was all aghast and I was like, what happened here? What is she talking about? You're living at your father-in-law's at the moment. Oh, I do. I still do lives. I'm gonna have to come and check you out. I have not seen you in so long. I know it's been well over a year, but I'm glad to know that you guys are doing okay. How's your husband? And so she said that, and I was like, she was like, girl, don't tell nobody else you playing with Barbies. And I was like, that's a bad thing. Like, I didn't know. I had no idea nobody was playing with Barbies anymore. We're like seventh grade, you know. Barbie liked G.I. Joe better than Ken. Sterl's trying to stir it up because I used to do that. I go and get my brother's G.I. Joe. He's like, get your ugly kid and leave my G.I. Joe alone. That's not nice. Barbie should be able to choose who she wants to go out with. And my brother was, that's right, he's masculine. Hubby is doing well, but injured himself at work. Oh, been out of work or workers' comp. Oh man, I hope that he gets to healing. I'm glad that you guys are able to go to your father-in-law's then. I know that you guys were looking for a place. Our last time talking with you, oh wow, it's been a while. Because I know you guys were looking for your own place. So yeah, so my brother, he wouldn't let me at all whatsoever. And my friend Brandy, she's like, don't tell nobody else that you playing with Barbies. I'm telling you, it's not gonna be good. So I didn't know what to say. My whole world has been shocked. I didn't say much. My friend Sandy, she starts having conversations. She was excited because I was talking about creating my own line of Barbie clothes. So she's telling people, I'm gonna see what Tia come up with. And then I might just get a few of the outfits she makes. And people were like, what? You play with Barbie? And a choice had to be made. I'm just gonna say it. I think I already clued y'all in to what the choice was. And I'm sorry. I was a kid. But I'm pretty sure that you guys know the choice was not to hang out and discuss Barbie anymore. Seems YouTube deletes my viewers. That's true. I've lost like 12 in the last couple of months. I hope YouTube deleted them, but you know, I've had some good topics or subs. So yeah. So the choice was, yeah, girl is still playing with Barbies. Oh man, I didn't know. Not a good look. Not a good look. Sure, I didn't say it like that, but pretty much that's how it comes off. You guys watch the movies, you see all the little kid movies. There is always junior high a divide. What we did in elementary school and who we hung out with, we kind of divide and separate, you know. And what does that look like? You know, and it transcends into high school as well. You know, we start looking at athlete versus, you know, dare I say it, nerds, you know, and that's where it starts at. And I wasn't any different. And Barbie was the critical moment that made me choose. I'm sorry, Sandy. I really owe you an apology. Did that sound genuine, guys? I hope it did. I hope it did. Yeah. G.I. Joe with the camouflage. Yes. And the muscle. You could see G.I. Joe's muscles through the, I'm sure they designed it like this, but through the plastic legs and the arms, you can see his muscles. I lost 40. That's too many. That's a lot. That's a way too many. I hope I don't lose that many. I know, you know, when somebody doesn't agree with something, you know, they'll unsubscribe from me. So hopefully nobody disagrees with anything that I'm saying right now. Because, you know, Barbie's controversial. And so me talking about Barbie and dropping friends because of Barbie, that might be a little too much for some people to handle. You know, me using Barbie to keep people off the pole and not become strippers, that might be a little bit much. Dog tags. Had gorgeous dog tags, gorgeous. Obviously, they worked for my benefit. And I'm like, brother, brother. I still to this day call my brother, brother, brother. Give me a G.I. Joe. Give me a G.I. Joe. And oh, he's mean. Mean. He wouldn't let me. I had to steal it. Steal it. I had to steal his G.I. Joe. But somebody taking Barbie out tonight. And Ken don't have no job. Nope. Ken don't do nothing but serve Barbie. Yeah. Y'all ever notice that? Look at all the packages. Barbie's a doctor, a teacher, an airline stewardess, a pilot. She's a veterinarian. What do Ken do? That's why there's a G.I. Joe. Yeah. You're safe. Barbie is a blockbuster movie. That's right. That's why it's coming out now. I'm getting my confessions out because she is the bomb.com now. I'm glad we had this conversation. I am too, Kat. Surf. She said surf. Eye candy. Yes, G.I. Joe was eye candy. He was a boy toy. He had muscles. But in the movie, they made Ken fine. They made Ken fine. Ah, they made Ken fine. Do you guys remember Alan? Are you guys old enough to remember Alan? I swear, I swear I was like, did you survive the hurricane? I had to move in the middle of the hurricane. It was very difficult. It kind of took a lot out of me, Riv. A lot. Like, it was mentally, I guess, taxing, not just physically. It was mentally taxing. And I strained a muscle trying to, even thinking about it, I could feel it a little. Trying to move my own clay. You know, my daughter and her friends stole G.I. Joe to play with him and Barbie. Yeah, you have to, because G.I. Joe, first of all, G.I. Joe, he had respect. He had honor. He was a military man. You know, he was good looking and he was muscular. Again, he had a job. He's military, you know. And so the unfortunate part, poor Ken, but he didn't, at least he wasn't an Allen. You know, he still had something going for him. And that is his looks. Tammy's in here? Oh yeah, Tammy. Yeah. Look at us breaking down G.I. Joe versus Ken. I tell you, that's gonna be the sequel. That's gonna be the sequel. Y'all want me to write the plot? Oh my gosh. Mm. Y'all don't want me to write the plot. It's gonna be the movie to be seen. And then you won't be able to take your granddaughter to see that at all. Because this Barbie movie gonna be made for us. For us, by us, for us. That's right. I meant that Ken was her boy toy, not you. Ken was, I don't know if I'd say he was the boy toy, but he definitely was the boy next door. Somebody that, you know, the trusty, good old, he was the, he's just the trusty, good old fallback. You know what I mean? You're going to go out there, you're going to explore, you're going to have some fun, you're going to date. It wouldn't be that bad, Cheryl, but there would be some knee knocking. There would be some toes curling. There would be some tingling going up our spine. It would be fun. It would be fun. It would be a time. How many of us went crazy over 50 Shades? I was in shock. I remember when a friend of mine was described, I was like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. And then her mom read the book. At the time, her mother had to be 65, 67, something like that. She read the book. And I'm like, what is she doing reading stuff like that? What caused me to read the book was her father. He wanted to know what all that goo and gushing was. So he reads the book, and he's almost 90 now. So what, he had to be about 80, 70, 77, 78 at the time. Was not expecting that movie to be like that. I've never seen the movie. I read the books. And I'm the type of person, if you've read the books, sometimes it's hard to put the nuances, into film. And so a lot of times I don't read the or watch the film. Careful to your age is a subject, I know. But what I'm going for is that because of them being older, they read this. So I'm thinking it must be softer than I'm thinking. And let me go ahead and, and watch it and see. I mean, read it and see. Couldn't believe every description. I'm like, they read this? They read this? And my friend's mom, she's in a book club with people like-minded people. These are professors in college and things, and they're reading this, and I'm like, oh. So I read it. I read the number 2, and I read the last book in the series also, and it just blew up. It blew up because when I got the books, who you call it older, me, we about the same age. um, so when I got the books, it was before it really took off. Like they were, there was a murmur and things like that, but it hadn't hit, prime at that point yet. And so when I first got the storyline, they were doing fan fiction for the Twilight movies. And she had submitted this to a fan fiction website that I was on. And there was a lot of people that were writing their own version of the love story, like they could do it better than, Edward and Bella. And so that's when I first came into it. It was called Center of His Universe or something. It wasn't even called 50 Shades yet. But people were wanting to know, how the story was going to further play out and things. And so she created, the additional storyline and things like that. That's when I had came into it, when it was still fan fiction. And then it got turned into 50 Shades of Grey. And oh my goodness, I never would have guessed that it was going to go on to be that popular. But after a while, because I read it like 3 times first, and after maybe the 3rd time, the sex and all of that, it did fall to the wayside, and the storyline began to emerge. And I did get to a point where I'm just focusing on the storyline and not so much all of this misogyny, I guess. Tammy, we need that in the group. Create a potion for it and have at it. It did have a good plot. Shawana, you would be amazing at creating a story for the group. Uh-oh, look at y'all. You are young. I am, Cheryl, that's right. I forgot. I'm 29. Thanks for reminding me. Other than that, had some fun. You guys are cutting up. So yeah, just great coming back and hanging out with you guys. Woo! This is a long one. I didn't even plan on being in here that long, but you guys are allowing me to purge. You guys are commenting and keeping it going, and I really appreciate that. It's just been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But my stomach is grabbing at me. It's saying, girl, you better go. I turned the big 50 in May. Ooh, you telling people? You telling people? I think I won't share my age. until people laugh at me when I say I'm 29. Then I already got my next age set up. I think I'm almost at that point where people are like, girl, quit. But not so much yet. Yet. I think, when I start telling people I'm 30, there you go. I think they'll understand. They're like, oh, okay. You're 29. I stopped. No, you're not. I know. I was joking. I'm 30. Okay. That's what I'm waiting to get to. I'm not afraid of it. I don't look my age. Well, that's why 29 plus shipping and handling. That's right. Almost an even 30. I will be 55 next Sunday, the 7th. Look at y'all. Happy early birthday to you. Y'all share y'all age so freely. So freely. I'm just not there yet, I get that from my mom. My mother is deathly scared of being older. I believe that's why she's gone. She started to really feel her age during the move. And she kept saying stuff like, I'm trying to do my part. I want to do my part. I don't want anybody saying that I'm not keeping up. Where's that coming from? I will be 66 on the 23rd. September is the birthday month. Look at that. Hubby wants me to get going. Grocery shopping. I can talk later on Facebook or on Instagram. Yeah, I better get going also. Tell your husband I said hello. Go ahead and get your grocery shopping done. And I will chit chat with you all later. Thank you all for coming out, having a great time with me. Sorry I was a little bit late and long-winded, but this was great. I really appreciate having a voice, all of you coming out and just, hanging out while I share some of what I've been going through. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Make sure you guys comment what project you guys are working on, as I maneuver through to the next retreat. I'm going to be thinking, what project am I going to take? What will I do? And so hopefully you guys will give me some great ideas. I do cross stitch. I love clay. I have not stopped playing with clay, just so you guys are aware. And then obviously I have a fantastic diamond painting collection. So make sure you guys come back, comment after the live, and let me know what kind of project ideas you think I should engage or encounter. I'm not opposed to trying something new. Please, no no twirling. What is that? Quilling, no quilling, and definitely no more tiny houses. Not for a while. Okay. Thank you all for coming tonight. Have a good evening. Bye.